do. Oh. And I can't remember if I actually did turn off my mute while I was doing that. I probably didn't, but that's okay. Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful Sunday morning here. I've got the sun shining out the window, gorgeous sunrise, and it potentially is going to be a gorgeous day. So let's get moving into this. And hi, Holly, how are you? And I can see Shaz is here. Goody, goody. And we've got Kathy. Wonderful to see you here again too. Now, I do have this cross-posted to the other pages, as in the other two that I normally do, which is mytimetv.live, that one, and the Hypnosis Plus with Roz. They're on both. This is playing on both those pages. Click the link above. I've got to get this right straight. Click the link above that brings you back to the Roz Bounty page, and then I can see you with comments like this. Now I could hear the typing. Well, there you go. Not that I was doing a great deal of typing, but I like to check that I'm actually going live properly. So that's what that was. Now, I'm just going to, with that that's going along there. That's my website where you can book for the personalised readings if you feel that you need more than just this data guidance. So there we go. As it's going along. It takes a bit of practice doing that, getting the finger movements right. But anyway, hi Lee and hi Donna. You're on the mytimetv.live page, so I can't bring your comments up as I can like this. I'm still in bed and it's cold. It is very cold. I have had the heater going in the background here this morning already, or here. It's actually over there. So a nice little blow heater in the room, closed up, creates a nice warm space. That's it. Good one, Donna. You made it. Yes. So I gather that you did click that link above that brings you to this page. So Lee, you're in Illinois. Wow, so you're coming into your evening time there now. Now, so this is for the reading that I'm doing for the day today, being I'm here in South Australia, so I'm ahead of you there, Lee. And we are in our Sunday, so this is for today. So for what you're reading now along with us is, well, for your evening or for the tomorrow. And Shaz, you're wondering if you were away still. I wasn't away all day. I was just visiting yesterday. Wasn't a full day thing. So 5:30 p.m. Yeah, I thought, because what I usually add, so you'd be on the west coast then, Illinois, is it? This is where the geography, it's geography, isn't it? As in place location. I'm still needing to get a lot more familiar with what the US states, where they are. I do know that Oregon's on the west coast. That much I know. And I think New York's on the east, isn't it? Just starting to get into the timeline stuff, the time zones. Yeah, so that's interesting. So when you do the cards and see our names, do you sometimes connect with spirit while doing this? I was just curious. Hopefully our loved ones aren't distracting you. No, look, I've been able to practice a little more now that I have been doing this a while now. And one of the first things that I did in the training part of what I did as the psychic mediumship, more the mediumship is what you're talking about, I've been able to sort of turn it off and not listen. And that's where there really are some skills that you can grow and develop in your journey as a psychic mediumship. All of us have the skills. It's just, do we want to really get into it, practice it, do it, grow it, develop it further, or is it something that we can happily ignore in our lifetimes? Because every one of us has our own unique purpose in life, and it's not for everyone to be a psychic medium. It's not for everyone to be a clairvoyant. It's not for everyone to, really get into the practice of and using those skills. We have different areas that we have our passions in. So sometimes we'll actually get kicked in the butt and spirit are telling us, yes, this is your purpose in life, this lifetime. Go with it, because you'll only get those kicks in the butt until you take notice. But there's sometimes, for many people, it's just not what's important in their lives this lifetime, for what we're doing here now. So I don't ever feel guilty at having that switch on and off at times. If it's really important, I get told. So now Midwest Central time zone, Midwest Central. Yeah, okay. I think I got that. So I use a rough calculation of what our time is now is 8 o'clock. So it's that plus, like, take off a couple hours, so it's the 7:30 on the east. So it's an hour and a half difference on the East Coast, Eastern Standard Time, I think, from what ours is at the moment. Anyway, and it's yesterday. So that's a bit interesting. And you're an hour ahead of us. You're in Ontario. Yep. Yeah. So it does take a little bit of practice. And I've sort of got the roughly. I know it's you yesterday, and that's data. So, and sometimes I'm blissfully blind. Yeah, well, that is exactly what does happen sometimes. And it's all okay. The thing is, we have what happens, what we have in our lives, because it's our choice in many ways, and that sometimes gets into quite some deep discussions. But what we're here this morning for is the card spread. I've got the 5 cards laid out in the usual layout that I've been using for over a year. Well, it has been a lot longer. Actually, it's been longer than that. I think it was March the previous year that I did start this as a daily practice, mostly daily. There's only been a few I've missed out. Good morning, Kirsten. How are you? So we'll get into it. And I can see that Vicky has popped into the My Time TV live. So just a quick explanation, Vicky. There is a link above that brings you to my Ros Boundy page, which is where I host this daily live stream into that one. And I can see your comments being brought, like I can bring them up like this that I have for Kirsten. Not absolutely necessary. You can happily watch from either of the 2 cross-posted pages without popping over to the Ros Boundy one. That's fine. I don't do the daily card. I don't do individual card pulls or messages in this live stream. This one is the general card spread. And I'm just switching over to that now so that we can get into it. I've already put the deck out on top. This is the one that I actually use for this card spread. I've been using this one for that same length of time as since March last year. I love this Lenormand deck. It's just one that I'm becoming more in touch with, familiar with, because of the artistry, because of how easy it is to read with the artistry. And a Lenormand is a more direct style of card reading, because you have pretty much just the one word for the card and then you interpret from that. And this is the expanded edition, as you can see there, of what Sarah Marchetti has created. So we'll get into the reading, and what we've got is the layout of 5 cards. This is the workspace, home space. Up here is the unexpected card, or energies. This one down here, which I've just, there is the your role, and right in the center we have the summary, outcome. So that's the outcome one. And I'm pretty sure yesterday we had the mice in the same one. What we've got in the workspace today is the mountain. The mountain is about challenges, and it is about sometimes there's going to be some blocks in the way and things like that. Now, with this, I'm feeling, for me, and keeping in mind that I do shuffle these with the intent of being my own reading. Now, I haven't even got that straight. That's just a bit of the Virgo OCD. I don't have that. But at times I do like things straight. And that's where in this, with the mountains, you have all sorts of edges and jagged ridges and valleys and drops, but beautiful views too once you get to each of the peaks, as you can move even to the complete summit. That the view that you would get there is going to be absolutely awe-inspiring and magnificent. We know that from some of what is documentaries we've been shown on TV. You get the variety of experiences whether it's as that voyeur watching someone else or whether we are actually in that experience. I don't ever expect to be going mountain climbing. It's not my forte. I don't like heights. In fact, no, thank you. But I do appreciate the beautiful scenery and the vistas that can be shared by other means, even just as far as pictures and this artwork. But what it is actually signifying for me is the challenges of moving past what we ourselves put in our own way, and that is a fear of writing copy for my website. Revamping my website and needing to get some of that stuff done, and I'm thinking, I don't know what to write. I don't, it's talking yourself up and selling yourself and trying to make everything magnificent and wonderful and how perfect I am and all that sort of stuff. It actually isn't, but that is my own fear, and so needing to move past that. So this is where we can actually take, I was going to say the bull by the horn, but what we've got here is a reindeer moosey type. If you can just see it, I'll just point right to it. Place yourself in that creature's feet, body type of metaphor. This is their environment. They know how to move around all of those spaces and places and mountaineering, the sides of the mountains and everything without fear. It's just their space and place. It's putting oneself in that mind frame, that mindset of just doing, of moving it forward. For being able to do anything, you just got to take those steps. And in some instances, learn along the way. These little fellas would have started as their baby size and moved up like we did as babies. You take the first steps, you start to, you stand first, you take the first steps, then you start to walk, then you start to run, and all of it progresses as it needs to. So that's what I'm feeling, even with a website and trying to, doing the copy, write the copy, practice writing it and get it till it works. And so that for me is my story around that card for the day, is to put those thoughts in process, write down the sentences and the words. They start as a word, then you make a sentence, and then it builds to a story. And this is the home space that's going to unlock, the key's going to unlock a lot in your home space today, even if it's a new door for some, for a new home, for those that are going to be entering into their own new homes, new space. I'm feeling it's just unlocking that next step of what might be a difficult relationship or just a glitch in a relationship that's been happening because of whatever reason. There can be misunderstandings. There can be deliberate leading astrays. Can be deliberate, lots of things. Some of it, with intent to be not quite nice. Some of it with absolutely no intention, but it's just something that happened. Take the breath and move forward with it and just unlock what that next step is and follow through with where your heart's going, because that is a beautiful rose that's been there and waiting to be set free. So set it free. And that's in the home space, remember. We've got the fox up here. We do seem to have a little bit of, masking. And well, anyway, I'll get to the mask in a minute. A little bit of untoward thoughts. With the fox, they're sneaky. Is it sneaky? Well, they're very clever, and they do have that instinct to sneak around and get what they want. And if it's actually getting into that chicken coop to get some food, or just destruction, because foxes do not always eat everything that they actually do go in and kill. That's where, as farmers, they want to get rid of foxes because they're destructive. So in that concept, there's this unexpected, be aware that there might be something around you in your energy today that is leading to some form of deception or sneakiness that's happening. And we'll see even that trend today working through further. Doesn't make it absolutely horrid or bad. It just means be aware of, which a lot of it, when you're going for the guidance from any cards, any system that's a tool, do keep it in mind that it's only guidance. It's not something that's set in concrete. Anything can change, and you can change that, right? Because here we've got the mask in your role, and it is your responsibility. It's your role. You can change out these masks to anything you want. You can completely take them down too, to show your vulnerability to those that you love, especially if you're trying to unlock some form of better communication or anything like that. Hi, Carrie Ann. Just seeing you pop over into the My Time TV page. Lovely to see you there. Thank you for watching. So with the mask, I mean, you do have control over what mask you're showing out to the world, because that's basically what you're doing. With any mask, we're showing a different role or a different face for where we are at that point in time, or purpose even. So do remember, we wear masks for different purposes. It's like that old saying of, you're putting on a different hat for the task at hand. Masks just are more with the intent to hide. My feeling is that they are more attending to hide behind something, rather than just putting on the different role or hat. Okay, I think and feel that is the difference in the mask to actually the job at hand with a different hat, different purpose. So it's up to you, your choice of what mask you may or may not be using. I prefer not to have the mask, but we are human, and sometimes we don't want to continually have our vulnerability out on show everywhere. It's just one of those instincts that we have these different masks at times. Grow your awareness of where you're using them, what purpose you're putting them for and into, okay? So that's what I'm getting from this. There might be the times in the day where you need to reveal who you are and not have the mask up. There could be the other times where you actually do need to have that for your own protection, for self-protection. Hi, Melina, how are you? I see you're over on the mytimetv.live page too. A wonderful, wonderful page. I love being involved in that. But I happen to do the daily live streams in my Ros Bounty page. The link's up the top if you want to pop over. And you can like the page, and then you get the notifications for when I'm doing my daily live streams as well. Well, if you turn them on. Now, we'll get the center, get it lined up there, and right in the outcomes, what we've got is the mice. Mice, to me, this card, I love it because it's just got an abundance of resources in there that these mice, being opportunistic little creatures, are taking advantage of. So as far as my interpretation for this for today is that there is plenty of resources to share around there, but it's still that casualness. If we're too casual, it's going to be stolen, not just shared. So that's how I'm feeling with this, especially, here we've got the cleverness of a fox and those masks that we put up, and here's the mice in the middle of that as a column, because a reading isn't just about what is the stated, this is these meanings. It is what the feeling is that you're getting from it. And it's a card of abundance when I look at it, but not in the material sense. It's just, it is a little bit more in the material sense, because they're physical things that the mice are actually taking part of. And there is enough to share is what it's indicating to me. So what we have, we should be sharing, but just being aware that sometimes not everything needs to be, if you get what I mean. And this little one's I just love seeing how it gives me that feeling of anticipation of how much close is he going to get to actually chewing right through and falling down on his bum. It just gives me that little glow of happiness for some reason, just because they're just such plump little creatures, and they're happily chewing away and using what's available. So thank you, Vicky, for that. Yeah. And Deb, you've got people judge you when you don't wear a mask. Life can be simpler with a mask. That's right. It can be that way. But it comes to a point at times with when you're wearing a mask, yes, it can be. Look, there's purposes for everything, really. And if you're feeling that judge and being judged, we're human. We make those judgments for the self-preservation and protection and, the survive or die type aspects of what was caveman thinking and the rest. But it then means that you haven't got the self-confidence enough in yourself. Grow your self-love and put that disregard out there really for what another person's opinion is. And I might just change this around. Probably because, you can tell I'm not a spring chicken. I've got enough life experience within my lifetime so far, and it never stops. The learning and growing never stops. But I do figure I've got a lot of life experience to have enough wisdom to realise other people's opinions of me do not matter, even to the point where, yes, if I'm building, and I am rebuilding my website, having someone do that for me, with me, and needing to write copy about this, that, and the other, because that's what it's called, you write copy. And it's just words. It's communicating. It's being who you are out in the public. And it's not inviting judgment, but it's going to be judged. But in that respect, it doesn't, as far as your comment goes, people judge when you don't wear a mask. They're going to judge when you do wear a mask. There is judgment automatically within us because of that fight, flight, survival, what our instincts are as thinking human beings. It's going to be there. So don't make it the be-all and end-all of what your life is rotating around is what other people think of you. Grow who you want to be. Grow into being the best person that you can be and being happy in that and loving self for what you're moving through, where you've come from, what your present now is, and where you'd like to go. There's only really 3 steps in life. We are born, we live, and we die. That's the body. And the rest it's that cycle of what our soul experience is being, is doing, is involved in, how we actually live at that soul level. So, and that is our own judgment. It's not other people's. And that's what it comes down to. Love self. Only the 2 emotions really in life. Everything stems from them is love and fear. Love really is the strongest. So grow that. Put your attention to that. Anyway, hi Sharon, you're over on the My Time site. Wonderful. It's lovely to see everyone here. And you have popped over to this one too. I didn't see that. Whoops. Or did I? I get lost in what the thought process is and doing the card spread and the reading, don't I? Thank you for being here. I'll leave it at that because it's a beautiful Sunday morning. It's a lovely time to stay and lay in or whatever it is you're doing in your day. Not all of us get our Sundays off. A lot of us do. It's a weekend. In whatever way you share your time with others, do it with happiness and love in your hearts. Grow into being the best person that you can be. And you're back. Oh, so where did you go, Shaz? Anyway, we'll keep moving forward in our day and complete a wonderful weekend for those of you who are still on Saturday night. And I'll be here tomorrow morning around the 8 o'clock. So until then, namaste.